doing? Ugh. Blah. Sorry. I want to break free. I want to break free. Boom, boom. YouTube chat. That one. I wouldn't like that, and the camera's like, must go down. I must go up. I must go to the side. Whoa! Cool camera effects. So when I lean down into my computer screen now, you can actually see me drawing. Like when I'm like... When I lean back up, you can see the camera come up. And you look at me. It's not perfect, but it's definitely, I think, an improvement. So this should be working pretty good. I've noticed it's still a little jittery on OBS, but not even jittery in here. This is 100%. Like when I've minimized it, when I'm full screen, I do notice there's a little jitteriness. I don't seem to be lagging, or a little bit. Cool. Let me test the chat real fast. Cool. Oh, I'm not actually scaled into there very well. I just realized. Not very professional of me. There you go. Pop out chat. Get rid of that. Go back to Twitch. Oh, I shouldn't have got rid of that because I still need to post that I'm streaming. Stop. There's got to be ways to disable that autoplay at the front of front of Twitch. Oh, you know what? I want to do the clock today. Definitely want to do the clock today. Clock looks interesting. Damn, why does my wrist hurt? Boom, top left monitor is all my chat. Wow, why does my wrist hurt? Oh. Huh. Anyways. Okay, when I look down, the camera like forces itself down more. Pretty weird. Okay. Look how nice it looks in full HD. I can actually show you guys in full HD. Look at that. I think I said it's 100, right? Yeah, 100. You know what? What does it look like with one of our cameras? Well, just for a second, my hand as I did that. Hey, next, how's it going, man? Oh, I can actually show you the fidelity of things now, the new graphics card. It's still a little laggy though. You can see, I can see it a little bit on the stream. Oh, that's a shame. Oh, I say a little bit. It's freezing the stream. I mean, I can still view it in this way though, so I'm quite happy about that. You like an angle like this. Give you a bit more room. Cool textures. Thank you. Oh, I made them myself. I want this. There you go. Yeah, like this kind of camera angle. That's pretty neat. It keeps freezing the stream. Hopefully it's not actually like hopefully it's only freezing the stream for me. I'm curious. I mean, full screen on a lower res stream. Now, it's definitely still laggy, even with the new graphics card, which is a shame. I would have hoped with the upgrade we would have been perfect performance, but oh well. We can also do like far off camera, so if we're like back here, we go sign, we grab the telly, we should also blur the couch. Like that. So we can focus on the telly while everything else gets blurred. Pretty cool. Alright, detach from the camera. And let's work on... I want to work on this today. Let's get the pure ref open. I don't know why my wrist is hurting. How much time did you spend on this scene? I mean, we're on episode 33, but we obviously get distracted. I need you to do about 3 hours on it per week. But that's also while talking to the stream. So if you just did it, let's say we did 2 hours on average per week. That's 30, or per. Let's say we do about an hour and a half per episode on average. There's 33 episodes. There's 30. So it's what 40. 49 and a half hours. But to be fair, I'll show you what I originally made. So I actually made this scene for NVIDIA. It was a commission thing. And this is what it originally looks like with ray tracing. And this took me 3 days from start to finish. You can tell there's a lot of unfinished stuff, though. I hide a lot of stuff in here because not all that was finished. And it's not like, if you look at the scene now... Well, one, we've got the entire kitchen. I've done a little bit more in this room. I even sort of made the couch look a bit better. This I'd already technically made. I made the rest of the house technically in here. It's not lit up or anything yet. Let's turn that to insane bounces. Will it eventually light up the other room because it's bouncing so much? I mean, kind of. Oh my god. I mean, that's an insane amount of bounces, so... Doesn't even matter if I turn up the intensity. Yes. Oh wow, it's actually lighting up this room a little bit. Did you see that? Oh, at least I thought it was. Technically, we do want a window in here at some point. So I would realistically have a light similar to this one peeking through here. Like this, lighting up this room. Which in turn should give us a little bit of light leaking through here. So that way we get a nice light coming from here instead of it being darkness. Similar here, this shouldn't technically be in darkness. There's probably some windows. If I turn you up, or halving you, and turn up your achievement range. Oh, you're already reaching all the way out here. Nice. Might even need it higher. Like that, yeah. Because we're going to have curtains in front of it like these get blocked out. This room still needs a lot of improvement. Like this room you could tell was definitely rushed. Have I got better curtains on it? I don't think I've even got the better curtains on here. We made some better ones for here. You can tell as you get to the top, it's quite nice. Even the texture of them is quite high fidelity. Anyways, clock. So we want to go to Blender. Oh, wait, you mean from the camera? Whoa, whoa. Or do you mean from the actual engine? Because I've got panning on the camera too. So that way when you guys, like, when I'm sitting up straight like this and doing stuff, and then I'm like, oh, I want to start texturing now, I can then lean down and you'll see me do it. Like, whoa. Oh, you mean, right. Yeah, it's pretty good. To be fair, it's still laggy though, watch. Hopefully this won't break a thing. 100%, because we usually at 50. I can never go full screen with my last graphics card, but for me it's fine. This is running... Here it gets a little bit low, because apparently planar reflections are still super demanding. But in here, I'm at silky smooth. But it's not definitely not silky smooth for you guys. And that's still very laggy, right? So that's a little disappointing, but... The line looks so much better. Oh, it looks so good, right? Like 200% better. Ooh. So 3 times better. It does. It fixed a lot of issues I was having. Because I think a lot of it came down to just reflections. But you can really see some of the fidelity now. Especially because I'm at 200%. Because I'm at 100% instead of 50. Because we were like this before, weren't we? 50. Which you lose a bit of that detailing. You get a lot of this flickering happening. So this is what I was showing you guys before. And now I'm like this. Plus all the lighting fixes because it's an actual RTX card. But yeah, I'm very happy with it. Where do you make textures for glasses? Yeah, just kind of just make them yourself. Like if let's go make a glass. I'll make one right now for you. Yeah, I make it mostly in Unreal, because a lot of the time, unless you want some grunge around the edges, which is better for Substance Paint, actually want to manually make that. But if I don't like make a glass texture, I'll like... The problem with glass materials, I will say, Lumen still doesn't support glass and reflective. If you go look at stuff like in... Like here, like a reflective surface, still works very fine. That's still very, very good. But glass like this, if you actually look at the reflections, they're not very high res, unfortunately. I think they said they're going to make it soon that it will support that. Right here, I've got a planar reflection. If I were to delete that planar reflection, it will look like that. So, yeah, it's something you're going to have to either wait on for Unreal to make better, or Oh, we've got going content. So if we go glass test. So basically, throwing a glass, the basic setup is something like, a lot of people like doing like one metallic. I don't really mind. I tend to go somewhere in between. You want to make it relatively shiny. I don't know, maybe like a 0.7. Also, the reflections are weird. Look how it's like black there. I've noticed this as well. If I put in a chrome ball, you can see there's like black places. Now, I think this is some of my settings being wrong, because I've seen, like, if you had this distance, it looks fine. But I've seen some people's videos, and it looks better quality than this. One, the quality. There's a disc cable going on. But two, all this black area. If you look at the area at the same time, it's fine. Because obviously you're not having to render it just in the reflection. But it's way better than it was. But I'm still getting a lot of this black area. I've seen some fixes for it. And it's basically separate all your assets out. So I might try some of that. But you only notice it in heavy reflections anyway. And they do state that it doesn't support mirrors at the moment, so I assume this is why. So yeah, if you did it here as well, you get a lot of that. Look, whoa, it looks really weird. I don't really get it. If you do it from this angle, it's fine, because you're seeing it at the same time. So that's strange. I don't really get why it's doing that. But some places are fine. Like, these look fine. Yeah, they might have slightly lacking of detail. But that's pretty good. The ceiling and floor planes. Yeah, they don't have a thickness, but even when I replaced it with a cube, it did the same thing. I was testing this with one of my friends. It still did the exact same thing. So I don't know why quite yet it's doing that. Like, can I replace that with a cube as is? So a cube. Look, we have quite a thickness. And look, it's still doing it. It's super thick. It's a very simple object, so the distance field should be building on it very easily, and you're still getting this weird effect. It's not getting the darkness that some of these places are getting. So yeah, unfortunately, that's still a bit weird. You don't notice it because the scene doesn't have that many reflective surfaces in it. Like here, you don't really care that you're not getting the best reflection ever, because it still kind of looks right. Anyways, glass. Oh yeah. I put that there so I could put glass on it. Glass test. So open up your glass test. So you want to click this, turn this to translucent. Turn your translucent, if you want the best quality, to forward shading. And then you want to do opacity, something like this. You usually want a Fresnel attached to that, because at the edge of something that's transparent, it's usually less transparent. Yeah, that's right. So actually, I think I have a tutorial on it somewhere. Not there, sorry. There, and that's got to go into there. Come on. Yeah. So we want that to be like 0.1. Weirdly enough, I was saying Fresnel at work. Fresnel. And then everyone's like, Fresnel. I was like, is it Fresnel? I was like, I've always been saying Fresnel, and I tried to start saying Fresnel, and then I started getting told by people, oh, I say Fresnel. So I was like, whichever, I don't care. So mess with your settings till you get something you like in the preview. You can convert these to parameters, so you can have an instance, but so something like that. So the edge is a little less transparent. I probably still want something like this. I think you technically want the reverse for shininess, because something gets more shiny on the edges of it. That's more like it. And then you can also grab this. It defaults at 5, so you can go like 0.3. No, 0.3, sorry. 3. And what that will do is as we turn that down, it will contract. contrast. It will bring in that edge fade. Jesus, I can't speak today. As you can see there, I tend to want the base to be 0, just so you get a nice divide between two, easy to see. And probably a 4.5, something like this. When it loads. That's pretty good. I think we want it to be a darker color. Yeah, looks fine. And then what you do on top of that is if you want there to be like fingerprints on it, you can get like a tiling texture. I have a fingerprint one here. And you can always just attach that to your... You can technically attach that to your opacity as well. So if we do this... We can then multiply this by this into here. Oh my god, I cannot see it. Was it multiply I wanted? I want to probably tile it a bit more. You know what? I'll instead add. Because we're just adding the white parts to it. Wow, that looks way worse than I thought it was going to. How about we do a subtract into a saturate? This stuff's just stuff you kind of would learn as you go. So I'm not going to overly explain it. I'm just basically adjusting our material here. So what does it look like here? Oh, it does look like that, to be fair. There you go. So we've got these big blemishes on it. Right. Connect that to our opacity. So as you can see, they're actually not as visible as I was hoping they'd be, but they are there. So what we can do instead is not subtract that, I guess, and actually cheap contrast it. But like probably 0.2. Yeah, so they're much more coming out. Still surprised you can't see him very much. Let's do a 0.5 contrast. I want to get it nice and strong. That's better. You can see it now. Still very subtle. I guess to adjust that, we just add a little bit here. If we set that to 0, what I can do is then go... Sorry, itchy nose. If we set it actually on -0.5, which will not have any of it on, we then go fingerprint amount, like this. And then attach that also to our roughness. Add again? Yeah, because white is rough, so we just want to make that area rough. Wait, I need to lerp it. And then we want that to be the area that's not it, and then this area to be the rough area. So we'll have it like at 0.5. We turn that to our roughness. Oh wait, we'll set it to -0.5 so you can't see it right now. So click apply to that. Come into our glass on here. Do an instance. So right click and do an instance and go glass. This instance. Touch that instead. But again, we're not going to get good reflections annoyingly, which is a shame. And as that is not very transparent to begin with, but as I turn this up, we should get fingerprints. Ooh, god, it's laggy. Get fingerprints appear on it. Oh, I should have given it a color. Then you get this fingerprinted surface. Again, like I said, god, that is a terrible color. If we go like this, lap that. So what I'm doing now, I'll show you. I'm just doing it also to over here. We want the dust to be basically like quite a light color. Oh, we don't want it to be metallic either. So I could do another lerp. And we don't want it to be metallic. So now we've got a dust layer, and we've separated our metal and our dust completely. Hey, megapixel, ship it. Have I done this in the wrong order? I think I've done this in the wrong order. Yo, hey, Rio V-Ray. How's it going, man? Yeah, I'm pretty sure we've done this in the wrong order. It's that there, that there. That there. I know it's on another monitor. Think that's right. There you go. We've got a glass with some smudges on it. Again, the reflection isn't good because it's Lumen right now, and Lumen doesn't support good reflections with transparency. They might do. I've just not found it yet. Not found the option to. But you can add a planar reflection to get nice reflections. I say that, though. When I tried it earlier, it didn't work. Yeah, look, that is not applying that, right? That one. No, that is not applying that reflection. So I don't know why it's doing that. But yeah, you can't get good reflections right now on it. That I'm aware of. Anyways. Yes, the clock. I like the skateboard. That really lights up this corner as well. Before we upgraded the GPU, this was super, super dark, but we can actually see down here now, which makes sense because you would be able to see down there. In here, it's still super dark, unfortunately, but what can you do? Can't all be winners. Like I said, I just really like that I can show you guys at 100% quality, like zoomed in cameras now. Show you that. Oh, you know what? It's not very good. There you go. We can look at like the really close up fidelity. But again, it's still a little laggy at full screen, unfortunately. I thought the new graphics card would fix it. Maybe it's the CPU side that does that. Yeah. I wonder if this is faster. Like if I click this button. Okay, what if I click this button? Oh, it's got to load render kernels first. I can't bother to wait for that. Oh no. Get out of here, Blender. I'll restart you. Alright, did we have any reference of that? We must have done at some point. Oh, here. Jesus Christ. Simpsons kitchen clock. It's just going to come up with a normal clock with the Simpsons on it, isn't it? Kind of. We do have this. That is not the same. Well, it's not terrible. I'm going to put that in my reference. How's it going, Rio? I shouldn't say your name, Rio. What are you? Are you artist? Question mark. Or are you programmer? Because we tend to get a lot of programs also show up here. Unwrapping this, I think, should be pretty easy. Yeah. Use mid polys for this scene. Yeah. I've not been too caring about the poly count because it's just for fun. Like, but if we, like, the table's quite high density because I used the cloth thingy on it. But if we look at them, like, most of the things here, we're not looking at a huge poly count at all. Like, the books are dense. The couch is a little dense. But mostly, curtains are a little dense, but mostly, like, look at the piano. It's pretty low poly. I don't really like the fireplace. I want to redo that at some point. The table is very low poly. For some reason, that part's high poly, but the rest of it's low poly. So, I wouldn't consider this... This might not even class as mid. This might class as low. Maybe. I don't know. When you say low poly, I guess you think about, like, really low poly games. So, yeah, maybe mid is a more accurate... Oh, my God. Whoa, Unlit looks awesome. That kind of doesn't look unlit. Huh. Anyways, we will have a short day today as always. Fridays is basically me saying hi, trying to get one asset done, and then we go to bed because I've been working all day. Well, I go to bed. You guys do not join me. Imagine unlit with outlines. Like a Borderlands-y. Well, that's basically what my scene was. One of my scenes. It wasn't quite unlit, but it had an unlit filter on it that made it somewhat unlit. Which was this scene. That has an unlit filter on it. Oh, true. Basically like The Simpsons. But this is actually a version of that. Like a black outline with unlit central materials. It's not fully unlit, but it's the closest thing I've done to that kind of style. Wait, I've set it all. Maxime. Love that guy. Maxime. Attorney of law. Is it attorney of law? Attorney of law. Oh, what are you? Uh-oh, stinky. Ah. Cool, looking good, looking good. Technically, don't need to face at the back. I like the idea of keeping them, though, I have to admit. What happens if we just do... Oh, but it takes up such a huge amount. Fine, I'll get rid of it. I know none of you said anything, but fine. Now we'll do one more. There you go. Is there an extra loop there? No. Why does it look so sharp? So let's just... I could just unwrap that as is, right? Yeah, that should be fine. I'm just gonna do this. Sweet. And now I should be able to just do that with the whole thing. Ooh, that is not very good. Jesus. Ugh. I'm not very happy with that. Oh. I like how it's going to show you me slanting down as well. Then when I sit up, there's the camera. It's a very cool feature. So yeah, that is not what we want at all. It's because it's like it's rotating some of them, but not rotating the others. Like I'm gonna have to just manually, I think. Just manually place them, I think. Because we can get them really tightly packed like this. Just a little extra effort. So it doesn't matter if I just do this. So I don't think it will go that high. Like you won't see my head. Or you want to see where it goes. Oh, you know what? It's not far off. It's super cool. I'm more impressed by that than how the scene's been running. I'm pretty impressed by the scene, don't get me wrong. But I assumed it would actually just work perfectly. Which maybe I was a little bold to assume. But I didn't think it would have any issues streaming at the same time, even at full screen. Because it runs 90 to 110 frames per second without the planar reflection. Planar reflection takes up a lot of frames. Which is kind of believable. Like, yeah, it's a planar reflection. They've always been very demanding. Like, you would never... Well, you'd rarely use a planar reflection actually in a game. Oh, that... Oh, yeah, it needs to be more of a gap, doesn't it? Stop it. I was suggesting you might not be wearing trousers. Oh. No, I went for my walk, didn't I? So... I don't wear trousers sometimes when I work for my job, though. Life goals. Yeah, pretty much. No, I always used to say I'd do my job even on minimum wage. Like years ago when I said I just wanted a job. I'd be a 3D artist on minimum wage. And that still, to an extent, holds true. But man, with the price of everything going up, I don't know how okay I would have been with that, like, now. Like, if I was getting minimum wage right now at my job, I'd be like, bruh, I need more. Like, I like to think I'm not very money hungry, but I feel like there's no choice right now. Everything's so expensive. Did you use add-ons for pucking? Pucking. Give it a good old puck. But take it out for dinner first. Did you mean packing? Like packing the UVs, or...? Unless I read it wrong. No, it's just packing. Oh, wait, I don't want that one. I want that one. Oh, I was gonna say, why aren't all these aligned? Because some are small and some are big. That's why they're not all aligned. Right. That's fine. I should have really packed up the ones that are small and the ones that are big, but... You did mean packing, okay. No. Honestly, Blender... most of the time gives me a really nice UV map. Like if we go to an asset I've done that's got it on, like Like you? Were you good? Don't crash. Apparently you weren't good. Or is it because it needs to be conformal? It's not far off. All you'd have to do is rotate this. Squeeze that into somewhere like here. And then just clear up some of this extra space. But most of the time, Blender does give me relatively good results. Here? Yeah, like here. I could improve those. Bad examples, but I try to think what was fine. Were you fine? No. I feel like Blender's making me a liar now. I swear, usually Blender gives me a good result. But there's occasion. On occasion, there are times where I do have to improvise, like I am now, and just quickly whip some together. You know what I want to play right now? Little Nightmares. I only played it like a couple of months ago, 1 and 2, but I really, really enjoyed it. For those of you who haven't played Little Nightmares, I 100% recommend. It was a fantastic video game. In fact, I'd argue it's my favorite horror platformer, and that's including Inside and Limbo. I keep grabbing random parts of things. What? How did I? No, just you. There you go. If any of you liked Limbo, or you liked Inside, or you liked, I would say Abe's Odyssey, kind of a different game. It's got some horror-y aspects, but I wouldn't really call it a horror. Cool. Now, I do wonder if I tell it to pack and tell it to not rotate. I mean, it's better, but it's not as good as I've got it. Problem is, I could do this and really get some advantage out of space, but I have this to worry about. I need to get him in somewhere. What if I did this? Like that. Grab to you guys. You should never feel bad about doing a manual UV map as well. I used to always like shortcuts, and I was like, no, manually doing a UV map, bad, bad, bad. It is not bad to manually UV map, Jesus. It's, in fact, it's arguably very good to do a manual UV map. What's happening there? It's like these parts connected together. Do you see that? I kind of don't want them together. Just want to texture it. They need to identify as a separate piece. Okay. Right, you can select the whole thing, see if we can scale it a little bit, and just try to get the most value out of this space as we can. That's pretty good. I could probably... lift these up a tad, and I want to give you a little bit more size than the rest of it, because that's going to be the focus for our actual camera. What is this? I'll give that a little bit more room as well, why not? And we give the arrows a little bit more room too, because again, they are the focus. So we do this. I didn't scale you up. Whoops, let's get you to a similar scale. There you go. Cool, and we've made pretty good use of our space. We've still got like a gap here that's not being used, but that's relatively good compared to what we did have. I can scale that probably a tiny bit until that reaches there. And there we go. So it's in a good spot right now. When I spin that, spin that, there you go. Whoa. No add-ons like UV Pack Masters. Nope. Or Master, sorry. Nope. I don't use any of that stuff. Like I said, majority of the time, I usually don't have much trouble UV mapping. Is this automatic? Like, this is automatic. Because, like, even this, I could just... So, if we got rotate. So, I go like this, go pack, And we get a pretty standard result. I then could just go, okay, we'll rotate this, or we'll disconnect maybe one of these. Because you won't get much better result anyway with because this one I'd have to detach. Anyway. Did that not detach? Detach. Mark seam. There you go. It's not separating. Is it separating? It is separating. Okay. So you sound like this. Why is it acting so awkward? Just select that for me. Thank you. Sound like this. Select you guys. Or deselect this. And voila. And you can probably scale these up to give them a bit more room or whatever you want. Or you can even select everything and scale that up a little bit. And some tools might do it for you, but some might do a lot of it for you. But I'm not particularly wasting too much time just quickly doing this myself. You know what I mean? That wasn't that much of a time sink. So I'm not too fast doing it the standard way. Oh, I went too far. That's all right. That's just got messed up UVs now. It's fine. Wait, we need to center it. File, export there. We should have already had it named in here. And some kitchen flower clock. If we copy that, what folder is it in? Kitchen assets. Oh, Jesus. Boom, boom. Kitchen assets. There you go. Export. That should have been the right file. I should have overwrote that. Question mark. If I re-import, I guess we'll see. Yeah, maybe. We'll see. Now I'll do this in Substance Painter. My will and my chair's broken. I need a new chair too. But I might get one in person this time. Because every time I order one online, I always have grievances with it. Like this one wasn't very comfortable. But I can't really test out a chair ordering it online. So... I can actually test out other teams now as well with Lumen, now that I've got a better graphics card. Which is very exciting. Right, I'm dragging that into Substance on my other monitor. I'll bring that in just a second. There you go. But yeah, people were really weird with plugins for Blender. Because they said, you need UV plugins. You can't UV map stuff in Blender without plugins. The normal stuff's terrible. You can't texture anything. I'm going to show you what I've done in Blender without a single UV plugin. And I wouldn't say it's taken me much extra time not having one. I've made this scene. Can you show you switcher between simulation? Oh, yeah, I can. I'll do that in a second. Should probably put that at a higher quality. Don't need that at this resolution on this monitor, but... So I made this entire scene. I'm skipping through, obviously. Everything in here was made in Blender and UV mapped in Blender without any additional tools. Oh, that's my favorite camera angle. Whoa. And lies. And similar to that, well, technically I've got like one asset from Moderate that was made in 3ds Max in there. This was also made entirely in Blender. And this, I had to hand paint everything. And it was fine with the UV mapping tools. So, I know you're not saying, next, I know you're not saying the UV mapping tools in Blender are garbage, but when I started getting back into Blender, I was told by everybody that, oh, UV mapping is garbage, and it really put me off of using the default tools. It doesn't necessarily just save a lot of time. I don't know. I wouldn't say it even saved me that much time. I'd say maybe it saved a little bit of time, if that. Because if you watch any of my past streams, it doesn't usually take me much time at all to UV map something. Well, some people it might save time. I just don't think it saves much time for me. I mean, at the end of the day, you can use whatever tools you want. I'm just saying that people really put me off of trying to learn UV mapping in Blender because they told me it's impossible to use the default tools, and yeah, it's fine. What am I doing? I'm looking at reference. That's what I'm doing. So it's green. So technically, should I have done that? Because it's got this like line in the middle. So should I have done that physically? Should I have grabbed, if I go back over to it, should I have grabbed these center parts? I already have them in here. Pulled these, oops, pulled these back. Or should I say shrunk them in a little bit, then pulled them back, then grabbed these, done this. You know what? That looks pretty cool. Don't think I need that. That looks pretty nice. I'll actually stick with that. I'll ship it. Going to be a little bit broken right now. Actually, oh yeah, it's going to be a little bit broken right now. I was going to say, because the UVs technically didn't move, but it still needs to bake that these are coming out and give them a curvature on them. There you go. Cool. Let's get some base coloring going. We'll grab 3. We'll first do the green. Grab it from our reference image that we're using. Plug that into you guys. You. We'll grab our next one. Get our pink. Wow, this is really... The walls are really blue in this reference. But they're definitely a bit more purple here. And they're not too far off in that first image, though. But yeah, as I always say, just use whatever you prefer. If you want to use add-ons and you think they work really well and you think they save you a lot of time, use add-ons. Because for you, they save you a lot of time. Just do it. They'll always say, ignore my advice if you're more comfortable. Not only if you're more comfortable, but if you're more comfortable and you're faster at doing something a different way, always do it that way. I don't care what anyone else says. If someone tells you, no, you're doing it the wrong way. If you're faster that way, that is the right way. Well, faster and it looks better. That is 100% the right way. Black. Handles are just black? Really? I'm going to do them like a plastic then. So it's the center part. I'm just going to do them like a plastic, like... not height, sorry. Whoops. We'll have a little bit of shine. Just like that. The edging of it's the same as well, which is annoying because with that being separate, the easiest way to have done that is in the actual texturing. What about if you're slower but it makes it better? Then it's a judgment call. If you've got the time to do it, go for it. If you don't have the time to do it, then do it the faster way. If it looks incredibly worse, Again, judgment call. At the end of the day, if you're working for a boss and he says to you, I want it done in this time frame, do it whichever way you're going to get it done in that time frame. If he, however, says, I want it done to this quality and I don't care how long it takes you, do it to that quality. Do it to the way that you know you're going to get the best quality. I do this every single day at my job where I have to pick to do something the quick way or I have to pick to do it the fast way. So if we do this, it should just make it a tiny bit easier because now in... See, this is another reason why I like doing my own UV maps as well. Because now, I just manually did that, created that seam. And then if I just that one. Can't remember which one it was. If I just now reopen it. Herm? Is HRM an acronym, or are you just going, yes, quick or fast? And then we rebake it. It should look pretty much the same, but we now have this as a separate thing, so I can easily grab this part and go, boom, color that in. I don't have to sit there and try to get a nice edge to it without going over. I could just select it. I technically could have done like this and selected it, and then just made sure I didn't select these parts, blah, 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 blah. But it's just a little bit easier doing it this way. And then the backing is orange? Yeah, it's an orange. Oh, what the? Come back here. But as I always say as well, I am not the best artist ever. In fact, I'm not even close. So my advice, I'd say always take it with a pinch of salt, because there's probably someone out there who will completely disagree with me, who is better than me. You know what? How about we make it shiny? Yeah. Kind of like I said, there's a film over the top, but it's not. I kind of like that. The clock doesn't have any numbers or anything on it. I could put some in, though. If we use this same plastic here, actually, and just give it a slight height, hopefully I should be able to. So when I paint that, we'll get a height coming on it. Put that on top of you so I can actually paint, and look, it gives you height. Hopefully I should be able to do a mirror on a radial symmetry. Not that one. That one? No. Maybe Roman numbers? Yeah, I was gonna just do here, here, and here, but I was gonna do radial symmetry so we get it perfectly aligned. Oh, actually, I guess I can't. How am I gonna perfectly align doing it by hand? Also, why is this not doing a nice radial symmetry? Is it this one? Oh, it's this one. Oh, you know what? Or I could just do it where they have the thick boys. Thick boys. They have like the 4 thick lines, and that's it. Or we could have the 4 thick lines and the small line, small line. I think that'll work too. It'd be very subtle. So if we only go 4, we make it hard. Too hard, I think. Have we got a little rectangle in here? Got a square. Oh, we do have a rectangle. Nice. And then we just go rotate. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. Rotate. Where's rotate? Here. 90 degrees. Then you just like go dink. Oh. Let me just go dink. The problem is, I'm worried I'm not going to get that central. I mean, that's central, right? Even just like that is kind of enough. But equally, we can. So what is it? It's 90 degrees like that, but your individual notches, if it's like 12, 1, 2, 3, it's 2 in between. So that means that between that gap, I need to divide 90 by 3, so 30. So if I go 30 degrees, all right, we get our first not. Am I being dumb? Is it 120? Because of its original thingy. But again, I have no idea how to place that perfectly right now. Because that is not going to be a perfect placement, even close to it. And then you'd add another 30 and go 150 over here. Yeah, you can tell that's not perfectly placed at all. What would be the easiest way to perfectly place it, though? Would it be better if I had it? Nah, it usually sticks away from the edge a little bit, right? So what time is it? Looks fine, not perfect. Yeah! Do you think that's like good enough? This one's annoying me here now, though. So it's like, so it'll be like here. Well, that's way too close here now. Hold on a minute. Wait. Oh, no, that is... What? Okay, that looks weird now. It looked better before I... Ah, what? No. Get his control Y. There you go. Ah, you know what? We'll just do the thick boys. That's good enough. And that's pretty much the clock done. But I do want some dirt on it, so we get the... What I'm really enjoying lately is the plastic dusty. I don't know where I got it from, but if we do this and we turn off the base color, we get instantly some really nice dirt feel. Now, technically, I don't want it around here at all because this clock's moving all the time. Wow, look at that. Jesus. Was that just coming from that? I'm going to turn off the height for this time because I think that's adding way too much to it. Look. Oh, it's because this has a height value now. So it's like taking away the height value. Right, yeah. Turn that off. We don't need that. Yeah, that's pretty good. Too dirty, obviously. The dust is fine too. If we come into the dust. And we turn you down a tad. Just a little bit. Also need to turn the height down on you. There you go. Some nice dust. I think the dust is too much still. Yeah, look how much it's taking up. Oh, is it reversed? Oh, it's reversed. Right, okay. There you go. Something like that. We're gonna take away a little bit of that. We're gonna take away a little bit on here too. There you go. And if we come into the actual grunge, which we want way less. Just want like that, just like build up here. We'll turn that down a tad, so it's not completely visible. Turn down a tad here as well. There we go. We've got a little bit of a dirtier light. Again, like I just said, I don't want it to be on here because these move constantly. So you won't have, unless they've just not turned on their, unless they've not replaced the batteries in a long time, which Homer would likely not replace the battery in a long time, but we'll give them some benefit of the doubt and we'll get rid of all the grunge. It can actually be here, that's fine. But we'll get rid of all the grunge around there. Grunge could be there too. It's just where it's sitting. We don't want grunge like that. Same with you. We don't want any grunge around here. There you go. Oh, problem with that is it gives you like that effect. We'll keep that little bit then. And that should be pretty good. If this was stylized, I'd probably do something like this now. Let's go bonk. Big light in the middle. Probably bigger than that, to be honest. Let's go 150. Big light in the middle like that. So it's just like a big bah. Turn off everything but color. Turn that up to all the way here. Do an overlay. And then tone that down a little bit. Do a duplicate of that. Invert. And set that to a multiply. Turn you down. And then that will make the edges darker. We'll make in the center a little bit brighter. If I turn this up, you'll be able to see. Usually you want to get a color that matches that. So probably around here like this. Sort of like this. And for this one, you want to do the same thing. If we're getting more of an orange coming from that, we want to get a little bit more of a green and do something like this. Turn it down a little bit. And then look, you get a nice... You get the colors pop more because it's drawing the focus towards the center. But I don't want to do that for a realistic scene because I don't think it works that well in a realistic scene. As I've shown before, I'll actually show it. When you look at a lot of my stylized work, if you unlight, if you see things unlit, you'll be like, wow, that looks surprisingly painted. And I'd like to show you what that looks like. So I'm loading up one of my scenes. I think it works with this one. So if we go to unlit, yeah, look at how much like shading and everything there is on things, even though it's unlit. It looks like we've got all this shadow, but we're not even got lighting on. I think it works, again, really well. And you know what? You can still see the parallax occlusion mapping. That's funny. I think it works really well in stylized, but as I've practiced with it in realistic as well, it just doesn't work as well, in my opinion. Like the bottom of this barrel gets darker, stuff like that. You got these edge like shines and stuff. So with the clock as well, is a lot of assets I'd make it darker in the bottom, lighter on top, because it usually sits on the ground. Whereas if you have an asset that you don't want to just sit on the ground, and a good example of this, again, this is stylized, all these tips, is these things outside. Where are they? Here. If you look at one of these, I was awake. Can you show me the difference sim and editor? Oh, I didn't look at it yet. Anyway, if you look at this, cool materials, thank you. You will see we got a lighter point here, a lighter point here, a lighter point here, and even a lighter point here. I've made it so it's darker at the top and bottom. That way, when I place it somewhere, it looks fine like this. If I were to turn it upside down, it also looks fine like this. I'll also show you like here. It looks fine either or, right? Jesus Christ, didn't mean to do that. Is this laggy? I just realized it might be laggy for you guys. No, this seems fine. Why does this seem fine? So yeah, this like works either way, right? But if we were to take this barrel, which I didn't think to myself about its placement, it looks really nice placing like this. But as soon as we turn it upside down, because I've got a shadow, I've got a gradient positional mask on it. Now the bottom is lighter while the top is darker, and it does not sit in the scene properly. Deck looks, thank you. It does look very nice. I say thank you. Luma's doing heavy lifting here. But yeah, so when it comes to stylized work, you want to determine how the asset needs to be placed, because sometimes you can get a really nice effect from something. You could get additional effects on something, should I say, from where it's going to be placed. And again, when I was looking at the clock, as I said, if it was stylized, I would have done something like this, where the edges get darker and the center gets lighter, because that's a really nice effect. It draws attention to the center of it, and it just looks like it'd be really cool in the scene that way. I wouldn't have done what I usually do, which is just a positional mask, which is like this. I'll sharpen it so you can see what it's doing. I'd then overlay that and give a light on the top, like this. I wouldn't have it that sharp. We'll just turn it down now and then bring it up a little bit. I then do a duplicate of that, invert that. Again, this is just how I do it. Everyone's... Oh, I don't need to invert it, actually. What am I doing? There's an invert already on here. Look, global invert. Boom. Again, we'll tighten that up just to see what it comes up to. Yep, to there. Bring that up to here. Set that to a multiply. Bring that down. And we get a color difference more like this. So it's a little darker at the bottom, a little lighter at the top. If we go between those, you can see that slight change. That would be really good, but where we'd want to place a clock is on the wall. So I don't want the bottom to get darker, because there won't be really any floor or anything there to give the effect it should be darker, like it does make sense for assets like the barrel that I didn't think about turning upside down. Does that all make sense? So it comes... you just got to think about it as you're making it to where it's going to be placed, and then you just sort of your best judgment. I can't say the definitive way to work out what would look better. It's just trial and error. Oh, that looks good. That doesn't look good. And you just mess around with it until you like what you get. SM underscore... Oh, no, not SM underscore. Flower, clock. Kitchen? All right, kitchen as well. So I could probably get away with only doing a 1K texture for this. That's not 1K. I would love to actually load this scene up for you to show you what it looks like unlit. I don't know how long it's going to take. If it's going to take too long when I load it up, I just won't do it. But something I've noticed, I don't know if you guys have swapped to UE5 and noticed this. Oh, I also, before I continue talking, eager moderate. Oh, let's close this one first. Don't save. I'll show you the difference between simulation and not simulation. I feel like that's too bright here, right? Am I crazy? It looks good here, but it causes a huge bounce here. Oh, yeah, I can't full screen. This gets a little laggy for you guys still, unfortunately. Simulate. It's because I'm loading up the other scene. It's running a bit slow. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. I can't even show you simulation right now. I shouldn't have loaded up the other scene. Oh my god, it's freezing my computer. Why did I do this? This was such a bad idea. It's not been open in so long, so it causes like a lot of PC lag. Did the stream actually die? Am I back? Oh, I didn't write mistakes wrong. Is it right? I am back, okay. Alright, I'll close that down. We're gonna ignore... Oh my god. Okay. We won't open that scene up for now. Right. I'll show you simulation versus not simulation. Simulation. Boom. Not simulated. Identical. Well, at least I think so. It does like a quick load, but... And then it pulses a little bit, but it's the same, right? I'm so happy. Like... It's so good. For next who won't understand this at all, when I was simulating on my old graphics card, which was an RTX, which wasn't a ray tracing card, it would not look the same when I simulated. But now... Hallelujah. This is what I said from the beginning, moderate, when people kept telling me, oh, but it makes sense that it looks different in simulation. It's not supposed to. It's supposed to look identical. It's supposed to do what I'm showing you now. And I knew something was wrong from the start because it wasn't doing that. Magic. If you saw the issues I was having before, next you'd understand as well, like, why this is such a relief. I've spent probably 100 hours when I had my 1080 Ti figuring out. Because you said about how long the scene took. I've probably spent more time trying to figure out the lighting issue than I've worked on the scene entirely. The lighting looks so much smoother as well. No blotchiness. Yeah, it's pretty good. Like, there's not the... You can see the light leaking before I, like, come into the room. But when I'm in here, it's pretty good. And at the edge of your screen. Here, there's still light leaking. But that's just because it's open up like this. Look. Although, I have put a cube over it. So I'm surprised it is doing that. Yeah, the lighting's working way better than it used to, which is also very, very exciting. I like this as well. Look at the reflection on here, man. Like, there's still blotchiness in the reflections, which I think I know how to fix. It's just a bit of a long-winded thing. You have to... Lumen doesn't like large objects, and this entire building is a large object. All the walls are connected. So if I just separate out all the rooms and import them as separate rooms... so basically just cut them off when they probably get to like here. Because the problem is the doors don't have frames. Because I'm doing it like the Simpsons. In the Simpsons, they don't have frames. So I don't want to make frames for them. When you make frames for them, it's easier to separate the rooms out. But I'll just cut it here. And then I'll import them as separate things. And hopefully that will work fine. Yeah, it's very exciting. I'm very happy with where this is going now. Oh, I love it. You know, this room, I don't know if we do need this light when we get to the end. Because obviously it looks very, very dark. But one, I could just bounce the directional light more. And when I've actually got lighting coming from these rooms, let's just do a placeholder. So when I've got lighting coming from these rooms... Oh, we did 0.1. 10. We'll have all these different light sources anyway. I don't know. It still is pretty dark, though. Maybe I just want to make this a little bit weaker. We'll do 3 on there, 1.5 on there. Because I feel like here is just a little too strong. Oh, actually, what? Oh, that's being caused by the directional light anyway, because how harsh it's hitting here. God's sake. Well, I guess it doesn't matter then. I'll still do it like at a 1, I think, or 1.5. And then that was at 2, 3, 4. We'll just go 3. Also, this side here, if you remember, moderate. Look how clean this looks now. You can see a tiny bit of blotchiness coming through there, but this was not coming. Oh, look at the oh. Look at the wetness. I actually turned down the metallic on this because my old graphics card wasn't doing well with full metallic. So if I make this full metallic again, you know what? I still like a slight reduced metallic. Crazy how much better it looks, right? It's... Oh, wait. 0.15. No, 0.15. There you go. It's crazy. Some of this fidelity is really popping now. I love it. I love it. Again, though, the transparent objects do not get good reflections, which is a shame. I think I've read that they're working on it, so that's fine. By the time I finish the scene in like 6 months to a year, it'll be fine. I still want to do the outside, though. So we really need to work on how I'm going to make these walls work, because these walls are double thick, look. They have a pretty good thickness to them. Yet, when I... So here it's fine, right? Yeah, there's no leak. Well, there's some leakage, apparently. Well, you don't see the leakage, though. That light here is just being caused by the light coming through here. But, like, this door, look how thick this door is. And then it's even got a frame that has a decent thickness. But as soon as I remove these blocks that I've got here that help block out the lighting... Yes. Look at that. Look at all that blotchiness come through. For some reason, it looks fine here. But here... Whoa. Oh, yeah, we've got, like, thingies as well. But when I undo and get those blocks back in, they mostly get rid of it, not fully. I don't want object to or with ones get. To be fair, you're right. It's part of like the entire building, so maybe just having them separate rooms it'll work a bit better. This room works. Oh, actually, that's because I've got walls on here too. So this room works fine, but I bet if I undid all the, if I got rid of all this, all these blocking things to help it. Yeah, look, it leaks through this wall. Because one of the first comments people write is how thick it needs to be. And they're like, oh, it needs to be at least 10 centimeters. This thickness here is much more... Not only is it thick, it's two-sided. This is much more... This might just be 10 centimeters. But that should be fine, but it's not. So I wonder what's causing that. This is terrible. Because it's like stretched. Oh, well. Again, reflection's bad. Unfortunately. Only on transparent objects. Reflections on things that aren't transparent are fine. Like, what is... We're going to think, like... Oh, I guess, like, on the telly. Fine. Like, that looks very, very nice. But look at that. Get really zoomed in. It gets a little bit thingy, but... Very nice warping. It works really, really well. Yeah, I love that. Look at it, proper warp. Which is how it should... How it would work. Like, it's not against the ordinary to do that. Alright, let's actually get this in and we'll call it a day. So... Is this your first time here, by the way, next? If so, feel free to join the Discord. I will reply to you in my Discord chat, especially if you're writing the Ask for Help section with anything. I'll try my best to help you. Unfortunately, a lot of times people tend to ask for things that are either programming side or animator side, so I don't know how to answer it. But I'll always try to answer, even if I have no clue. Did I export it? I didn't yet. Flower block. Folder. Well, I think 1K should be fine. I've been very, very generous with my texture maps. Like, I've given things 4K textures that have not required a 4K texture. I should really be be less generous about that. But admittedly, if you do want to reduce the texture resolution of something, let's say like stupid sexy Flanders over here, if you do want to reduce the texture density, texture resolution, you go into your texture. So this is a 2K, and let's say I want to make it just 512. Oh, wait, that's downscale. No, wrong thing. Oh, wait, it wasn't. It's usually up here, isn't it? Oh, yeah. So 512, and it will reduce it to a 512 texture, just like that. So now you can tell when you hit close, it's clearly reduced. I'm going to pop it to another monitor. I'm going to go 1K. And then I'm going to go 2K. And you can see it get better, but if we're never getting this close to the texture, you could probably be fine back here. Now, if we look at Flanders... Oh, Flanders is a different material. I was going to say, why is he not dropping in quality? He will be... No, Flanders. He'll be this one. So if Flanders is too high quality, we can just go... He's 1K. If we do 256, from here, it looks identical. We get close... You can start to see there's lacking of quality, but go 512, 1024. So you can just reduce the quality as you go. Oh. So if you do import something and you're like, oh, I should really reduce that, or I shouldn't have imported that as high as I did, just downscale it in UE4. I've read up on it, and everyone just says it's as good as like doing it. Well, not as good as, but when you package it, you should still have a reduced file size, I think. Sexy Flanders should be 8K, 100%. To be fair, that'd be funny. Make him 8K and grab Homer drawing, and make him... $64. There you go. There's Homer. That's 512. Honestly, he's a 1K map. Look, see the difference? Which does look a little crisper, but you don't need it. 1028. 256. You could probably get away with 256. I mean, if you're never... So if you walk to here and your character stops, and that's the furthest you can look at it, you could probably get away... 64? 1028? Probably get away with 1028 versus... Let's go back to full res, which is 1K. See? So that's something you could do as well. It's sorry, I'm just scratching. It's kind of important when you're making a game, not so much when you're just having a bit of fun doing 3D, which is what this is. I love my camera moving. It's really weird. Watching like it move as I'm talking. It's so strange. Another... I get so many mixed comments about this when I look online, actually. But is this good? Hello? UE4, you good? Why did that take so long to import? One thing that I always read... Oh, it was autosaving. I forget at the same time. Is they always say make instances of everything, which I have done, right? MI underscore flower clock. Oh, I need the kitchen as well. Kitchen. Let's go if we copy that naming convention without the MI. I can do it for my textures. flower clock. There you go. T_flower clock. Hey, Maltese, how's it going, man? It's a very exciting day today. Upgraded my graphics card, and we can actually use well, not ray tracing, but well, technically Lumen is ray tracing, but we can use Lumen to full extent. As you can see, I can fly around the scene without it lagging, and it should look a bit better. I still get a little laggy when I'm full screen, unfortunately, but I should be able to full screen. You should be able to have a look. And I can show you guys, as I said before, the full fidelity of stuff. I know I've done this like 3 times now, guys, but I can actually go close to things so you can really see that, like, focus now on the camera. It's pretty cool. I have to admit, I don't know why I thought I was going to get a more significant improvement, but I am getting like triple the frame, if not quadruple the frame rate, and it's actually working. It's not broken, so that's a pretty good, a good jump. I don't know what I was expecting. I have to admit, it's good. Can look at all the data on here. They're piling up in the corner. It's awesome. I'm really, really enjoying it. That reminds me, this could just be... Now, I would say, why would you have this many spatulas? But I have loads of, like, wooden stuff as well. I got loads of plastic, like... Oh, well, when I had my own kitchen, as in my own house, I had loads of the same tools laying around because I used them for different things. Utensils, tools. Photorealistic Simpsons. Well, it's not that good, but thank you. Did I bevel this? I did. It's just got a sharpen on the edge. That should really be... Well, technically I should re-import this whole thing into separate components. This should be a separate component. This should be a separate component. This here should be a separate component. And this should be a separate component. Because... Lumen, like I said earlier, apparently works way better with smaller assets. In fact, someone showed me a really good example of how strict or how much better Lumen is when you separate stuff. There was an example of a ship. Oh god, I don't want to copy and replace it. Let me just copy the link. So someone sent me 2 examples. So you got this one. This was separated out into 1, 2, 3, 4 separate components, and then even in the description it said you can even separate these green ones into all separate components. And also, all of these are separate. So that's one component. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All of them are separate components. Because apparently, again, Lumen just works better when I fix separate components. Probably because of the distance fields. Shadowing and stuff. That's what I can imagine. What's the average FPS with this GPU? In here? Honestly, I only get like 80, unfortunately. I don't... So, ignore what I'm getting now. The planar reflection, for some reason, completely eats performance. There you go. So 70 at the moment. I don't know how laggy this is for you guys. 60, 70. But it's the 3090 Ti. So that's what I said. I was expecting a bit of a leap. But when I go to the 2K monitor, I get the same FPS. Around 60. So I don't know why that is. But the scene admittedly isn't optimized very well. I don't think it's terrible, and there's a lot of random lights in it. Like if I were to delete all these rectangular lights, would jump up a bunch Oh, let me get rid of the planar reflection again. We'll jump up a bunch in FPS. Maybe is the texture res as well? I mean, if we go to unlit, you'll see, obviously, it jumps to 120. So, clearly, lighting's doing a lot. If we undid everything just then and go back to lit, and we push Control Shift, full screen it. Wait. Yeah, let's go to here and look away from the planar reflection. We'll go Control Shift, comma. For me, it seems to be at around... Oh, okay. Well, what you got right now? So we are getting 15 in the scene. So it's clearly unoptimized to an extent. A lot of it's coming down to the lights, directional light, batched lights. Oh, so the rectangular lights. There you go. So rectangular light 12 is actually causing the most. Which I'm going to assume is this one. No? Oh, it's that one. It's because they've got such a huge range on it. So if we turn that off. If we deleted all the lights but the directional. I've been very bad with my lights, to be honest. I could definitely optimize them more, but I just haven't. We get rid of the planar reflection. $80, $90. Yeah, between 70 to 90. But again, we lose a lot of those lights. But even if we go to the directional, I've probably got a lot of... I've got a lot of my settings turned to max, which I shouldn't be. If we go to the post-processing, there's probably a lot in here I could turn down as well. If we go to Lumen, look, final gather quality, pop that down, turn that to surface cache instead. Scene detailing, pop that down to the averages. Yeah, we can boost that back up a little bit as well. Now we're getting 100. So a big part of it's just because I've been too lazy to actually... Wow, getting a lot of noise now though. Hopefully this is actually running all right. But I've been too lazy to actually make the lighting work properly for what we're going for. See, you could do this and then just go in here. I should be able to undo all this, right? I can undo enough. And then go into exposure. And then you just make the interior. God, see, I don't know the best practice. Would it be to bring you down? I can't remember which one it is. I'll bring you down. Like that. And then maybe... We've got rid of skylighting, right? Yeah, so you'd get your skylighting to help illuminate the scene a bit more too. No, I don't need that. Something like this. But the problem is you still get like a super dark scene in here. Oh, something's clearly broken here. Jesus. All right, start undoing everything. There you go. Far enough. So I have put a bit of work to make it look good, but again, I've not been caring about performance. So we're probably looking at a decent drop in performance just because there's no optimization on anything. On models, on textures, and not on the actual scene itself. So what was I changing here? Is this all fine now? I think this is fine now, right? Yeah, okay. What was I doing? Right, let's get this texture in. So if I actually cared about the optimization, I probably could get it working at a decent FPS. As long as you're at 60, that's quote unquote decent, but it's weird when I look down. There you go. My camera goes down. It's like it knows I'm looking downwards. Oh. Oh. What is this? This isn't. Oh, is it? Oh, what the heck? It's changing as I get closer to it. What the? What is going on? The distance field shadows on it are acting really weird. Okay, that's working better now. Yeah, it's working better now. Is it supposed to be darker on that side? Hold on a minute. That's not up straight. What's going on? Huh? Huh? Oh, did I not re-import it? That could also be why it was a tiny bit weird in general. Oh. UFO is actually really weird. There you go. Oh, that was probably why it looked a bit weird, because I didn't re-import it, because the UVs did move a little bit. Nice. Oh, it's preparing the distance fields. Oh, no. What is going on? What is this weird shadow? That ain't right. As always, I was having problems before stream as well. I'm constantly having problems with Lumen. See, that doesn't work, so it's just lighting up the whole wall, which it shouldn't be doing, so you're getting all this light on here. Well, it doesn't look too bad like that. I think we do that, and we just turn down the value. It might be Maltese, but I've been messing around with it a lot before I started streaming. But this seems to be causing a better effect anyway. It's only the rectangular lights I'm seeming to see it with. Because look, we're getting this now when I disable that. If I go back into distance shadowing, this one gets fixed. Oh, technically that's not wrong though, because it's just hitting it here. It's because that should really be like this. Oh, or not. Oh no, it needs to be like that. Okay. So that's actually technically kind of right, but I don't like it, so instead we're just gonna pull that a little back. Oh, I can't get rid of it. What if I just did this instead? So that means it only hits the ceiling now. Maybe Lumen doesn't like rectangles. Maybe. That sounds like a really silly... Maybe it doesn't like rectangles. It's just very strange, because, like... Why would it do that, of all things? Look, it's even doing it from all the way back here. I did notice when I went into the distance field shadowing, and now I don't know why it's doing this, but when I go into distance field shadowing, what do I see again? In here, visualize, or just distance field, sorry, not shadowing, mesh distance fields, that we get a lot of weirdness inside it, like as if walls are inverted and stuff. And look, we get like a hole in it. Look at that. I was looking up, and it's supposed to kind of just show you the distance fields made around the objects, like this, like the this is fine. But again, like look at the cupboards. What is going on there? And why do these doors look transparent? Why do these doors when they are not inverted normals or anything? So I don't know. I've no like there's a lot of issues with this. Where did I just do this? Visualize. If they're inverted, I'd have had trouble baking in substance. So they're not inverted. I know they're not. So what causes it to happen? So it doesn't look too bad because it's as if it's hitting here. But it's like it's coming a little too early. You know what I mean? The shadow doesn't quite make sense. So again, it might just come down to having to redo the walls, because they might just not be working properly. They might just be too big. If I were to put a plane in here, how would it cast that shadow? Because a plane should be perfectly fine for this. No, it still does it with a plane. Oh, well, yeah, obviously it'll do that when I do that. We put it away from the wall. Yeah, look, it's still doing it with a plane. I don't get it. I don't get it. Lumen acts super weird a lot. I don't know how people seem to get consistent results of it. It's nowhere near as bad as it was when I had my other graphics card. It looks way better. But I'm still getting problems, and I'm just very confused to why. I mean, the clock looks pretty nice. I'm not against how it looks. Really wish my exposure would get right in this corner. Do I need to turn? It's better. Maybe we need to buy a 4090. The 4090 Ti is not even out. It's just a 4090. I don't know. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. I'd love to be able to show this to people who know a lot about it. More RTX, less rectangle. And tell me why it's happening. Because from what I read, distance field shouldn't even be affected in hardware RTX. It's only software RTX. But if I were to disable distance fields on this... Oh, there you go. You don't actually see a different effect. Yeah, because like I actually disabled distance fields and it looked the same earlier, so it's very peculiar. It's not awful, it just annoys me because it's like, look, that's clearly not a line. If I were to rotate this, what would happen? Did that get brighter? No, okay. Yeah, look how high up it is. It's like it thinks it's a cube or something. Or a different shape entirely. Weird. Who knows, man? Who knows? It still looks pretty cool. The tips look a bit weird. Yeah, I don't think it is the wall, right? If it's happening on a plane as well. It could be the clock. But then what's wrong with the clock? You know what I mean? Like, it was just a... It's just a pretty basic asset. Like, what could be causing it on the clock? It's like it's a cube here. Super strange. See, look, when I disable distance fields, it doesn't look too bad. And then when it bakes them, boom, you get weird shadow. So I could just disable the distance field to say we won't care about distance field today. That's a good idea. Where's my setting? Have I got this as far as disabled on this? Here you go, turn it on. Yeah, I mean, that seems to work, right? Gives quite reasonable shadows. So why? Because like I said, the clock's just a normal asset. There's nothing weird about it. Like, why would it do this? Smaller voxel size? Oh yeah, I forgot about voxel size. Why do I change the voxel size again? Shall I check what this does? Nothing. Voxel size on the lighting itself. I think is it project settings? Oh, that requires me to restart the whole project. I fear. Actually, I could be wrong. It does. Well, I'll do a restart and I'll give you guys the update on what it looks like. For now, I'm going to say we're done for today. Because that's basically what I want to do. I just want to get that texture and put in. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys want to talk to me off stream, I have Discord, as I said earlier. And yeah, I'll catch you guys on Sunday. Bye. I always say this and then I don't have the software able to actually stop the stream. There you go. Boy.